Shalom, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kodesh, double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, or the true leaders of Israel today, and salutations to all of the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, who risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai, and the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as they are the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Akalia, and this video is another update regarding the Mark of the Beast prophecy, which is a microchip. Alright, so there's just so much going on regarding this prophecy, man. This prophecy, in the past, well, several months, years, but in these recent days, recent weeks, you know what I'm saying, has really started to pick up speed at a completely different rate. All right, going back to, when Trump came into power the second time around, his first official, announcement to the world was that he would be building his $500 billion artificial intelligence infrastructure, and he brought out, the dudes that are the heads of those things, and he made a big spectacle out of it. Right? Why is he pushing an artificial intelligence infrastructure? Because there's a system being built to facilitate the microchip, which is a mark of the beast. All right, the microchip is a digital device that has all of your information and data stored on it, right? People are literally microchipped already. People are literally already using the microchip for various purposes, and they're all the same purposes for what is to come regarding the prophecy. All right, Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16 says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name." All right, so unless you have the mark of the beast, which is the microchip, you won't be able to buy or sell. All right, so what we have observed is, the prophecy already stated it clearly. You won't be able to buy or sell. Right? The most basic function of human interaction, one of them is the exchange of goods and services among one another, right? You can either do that via, today they use the paper money, but in ancient times, as one can call it, it was by way of gold and silver and whatever other precious materials, and people used to barter, right? They used to just trade things for whatever value they saw, what they had for the value of the person had, all that kind of stuff, buy and sell. All right, it is the most basic function to exist. You know what I'm saying? So Esau is implementing a digital system around the world to facilitate this specific digital device, which is a microchip. And so the microchip, the way it functions is that it has all of your information and data stored on it, right? Your biometric information, etc. All right, and the elder apostle Tahar said it, right? And if I'm remembering correctly, biometric, bio is life, and we are a living thing, right? And then metric is measure, right? So biometric, measuring that living thing, which is us, the, humans. And they do that by the fingerprint scan, the facial scan, and all that kind of stuff, all right? Then it also has the microchip itself, and you can Google it as well. Biometric microchip, RFID microchip. I suggest biometric microchip, all right? And then it stores everything on it. Your medical information, your financial information, everything that you can think about is stored on this microchip. So the microchip is the end game goal, right? For the wicked elite of Esau, Edom. And let's not forget that this microchip is the Most High's microchip. The Lord does all things, all right? However, the Lord is using the wicked, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, to bring this out. And that is the he that causeth all. It's going to be their ruling class, right? The wicked elite of Esau, Edom, okay? The elite bankers. This is their NWO, New World Order. And at the pinnacle, the apex of it is a microchip. So everything is about building up to get to the microchip, right? The microchip being that digital device and it being implanted in the hand or in the forehead, the brain microchip, but it's the one in the hand that we have seen where it is used to make payments and all of that kind of stuff. So you have the systems being implemented where the microchip is going to be that thing where they envision people are microchip, they're going around, they're using the microchip for every single thing they do. That's why they're building up the smart cities, the 15-minute cities, and digital public infrastructure, which is about digitalizing the systems, you know, around us, around the world. Okay, so they're implementing as well a digital payment system, which is the central bank digital currencies. All right, and then America has their own version, which is a stable coin. So that's another big move that happened in recent months. Trump signed the Genius Act, which signed stable coins into law, which stable coins is a form of digital payment that works as a one-to-one ratio to the US dollar. So yes, it is the same thing as a central bank digital currency. Don't let the name fool you. All right, it is the same thing, right? They are really on the brink of bringing about this microchip because they're putting everything in place, man. They're signing it into law. You know what I'm saying? The systems needed to allow it to work in a mandatory kind of way, right? And they're developing everything globally because it's a one world agenda. He calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor. It's a world thing. So the entire world is going to be affected. Revelation 3 verse 10, right? The word world there is the word oikoumene, which is talking about the inhabited world. So it's the entire world, man. All right. So the payment system is transforming, heading towards a cashless society, etc. Why? Because the microchip is going to be the way to make payments, and your money, which is going to be your digital money, right, is going to be stored on that microchip. And then we also take a look at the digital identification system, which shows us, you know, where it's heading towards, which is a microchip. The digital identification system shows you that it's all about consolidating all of your information into one place, right, onto a digital database, right? And this is a stepping stone heading towards the microchip. They will simply just transfer the digital ID onto the microchip when the time comes of the prophecy. So you see where it's all heading towards, right? So with all of that being said, all right, Russia forces state digital ID pre-installed on every phone. Russia is rolling out its most dystopian move yet, a state-backed digital ID system built directly into Max, a new VK super app that's pre-installed on every new smartphone. So the digital ID is a stepping stone heading towards it, right? You know, Jamaica has it, India has it, various countries around the world already have their digital ID, and then there are countries that are forcing it already on the people. You have recently the UK is making it mandatory that in order to work in the UK, you have to have a digital ID. No ifs, buts, or maybes. All right. It's a very draconian thing that Esau has done. They're not even asking you, they're just doing it. You know what I'm saying? They don't care. They're receiving their mandate from the wicked elite of Esau, Edom, you know, these people that are, you know, the faces that we see, and they have to go along with the plan or else, you know, they're dealt with. You know what I'm saying? And then recently in Vietnam, before that, Vietnam shut people out of their bank accounts. Everyone who doesn't have a digital ID, who doesn't become a part of the system, is shut out of their bank accounts. So you see where the world is heading towards? All right? It's all heading towards the prophecies of Yahweh Shemishai. This mark of the beast prophecy is literally right at the door. Okay? Because now Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the devil the Bible speaks of, the rulers of this wicked kingdom today, they're pushing things where they're not only, you know, making it obvious and mandatory in, you know, third world countries or, you know, heathen countries. They're doing it in their Edomite sovereign countries, first world countries. So what's going to happen? Other countries are going to follow suit. This thing is going to happen very rapidly, man. Things are speeding up. All right. And that can be felt through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemishai. You know, real talk. Users are expected to link their passports or biometrics to receive a QR code as their official ID, which then controls access to payments, healthcare, fines, and more, all inside one hub that the state can monitor. It is so clear to see that this digital ID is a stepping stone. All right. And remember, the payment system is being digitalized, right? And then the digital ID stores your bank information and all of your financial information as well. All right, this is the stepping stone, man. Now they'll simply just transfer it on the microchip when the time comes, right? So now in Russia, okay, to show you further the system coming in, okay, Russia is implementing the digital ID, and now for all of the phones that are going to be coming out, it's already going to be pre-installed on the phone, right? Let's
Pirate
take a
Nation on
listen.
X says Russia is testing a state-backed digital ID within Max, a VK super app pre-installed on new phones.
Yeah, because what they're telling you is that they're going to be making this mandatory. Okay? Mandatory.
You thought the UK was bad. Shit, you thought North Korea was bad. We now have Russia testing state-backed digital ID pre-installed on every phone being sold to people. Users link passports or biometrics to obtain a QR code as official ID, enabling access to payments, healthcare, and fines. Wow.
This is the system coming in, man. This is the system coming in. It's all the same stuff, the same information, being consolidated into that one place. And that's what it is. I wonder if he has anything else interesting to say. Let's take a listen from maybe like
And then
2
I saw
minutes.
this from Reclaim the Net when I started searching deeper on it. And they link their story here. Russia pilots state-linked digital ID through Max app, which I gotta be honest, this is scary, but expected out of Russia. But isn't it wild that this is what we're dealing with the free world is battling against this kind of stuff. This is breaking on September 30th, 2025. Russia pilots state-linked digital ID through Max app, a digital passport wrapped in a social feed. Max turns state surveillance into a lifestyle app. Governments around the world are increasingly turning to digital ID systems.
It's also very noticeable that, each country that is doing this, which they're all doing it in a different type of way. You know what I'm saying? From Russia, doing it with putting the app, the digital ID app on like the phones in Russia, you know what I'm saying? To Vietnam, shutting you out of your bank account if you don't have the digital ID, to the UK, making it mandatory to work in the UK. You have to have a digital ID. They're all taking different types of angles. This is all just very carefully curated. We're not ignorant to Satan's devices, man. This devil really is very diligent and very deceptive with what he does. All right? But the situation is clear for those who have eyes to see. As the scriptures say, the elect hath obtained it and the rest are blinded. It's clear, man. His agenda is so clear. And the prophecy is shouting in our faces right now, man. All right? It's literally shouting right in front of us in our faces right now. And these are the final warnings that are going out from Yahweh Shemishai. In Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3 it says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry." What else can be said? As it is written, so it is happening. At the end, it's speaking, it's shouting, man, it's yelling. All right? It is so clear and so obvious what is going on. The systems being put in place, the microchip and how it functions, the microchip itself, everything. It's very clear. And so we're heading towards the hour of temptation, man, which is the hour of piercing. All right? Because when you break down the word temptation and the word try here, all the way down to its origin. So let's just go to that real quick. It breaks all the way down to the origin from the base of G4008, which says through the idea of piercing, paran in the Greek, to pierce, right? So how is the microchip administered? It pierces the skin. It breaks the skin barrier, right? It says, Revelation 3 verse 10, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also keep thee from the hour of temptation," which can also be read as the hour of piercing. Because that's how it's administered, right? The microchip. When you break down the word mark, in the Greek, it goes to the word charagma, which is a stamp and imprinted mark. All right? And that's a physical thing, right? And the microchip is imprinted into the body. It's pressed into. You know what I'm saying? And then when you break it down further, you have the corax, which is the device that is used to make that imprint, right? So it pierces the skin, right? The corax, which says a pail or stake, and a stake is something you can imagine like a pen or pencil with a pointed end, right? Like a needle, but a thicker, fuller needle. Okay, so it pierces the carax, pierces the skin, and then it inserts the microchip in there. It imprints it. It's perfectly as the prophecy states, right? The breakdown for it. So I also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them, to pierce them that dwell upon the earth. And I mentioned the word oikoumene earlier, which is the inhabited earth. So the entire world is going to be affected. But regarding the warning, it is only for the children of Israel, as salvation is only for us. Salvation is only for the Lord's holy chosen people, who are the Israelites, and no one else. And the Lord is only going to be delivering the elect of the nation of Israel. There's a portion of our people that just won't get it. There is Jake, where you can put him in front of you and you can explain this, and it is so obvious to you, it is so plain to you. It's like 1, 2, 3, ABC, but for him, he just can't get it. He just can't see it, and that's because Yahweh Shemishai hath blinded them, and that's just how the story is. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? But this thing is very close, man. It's really close. They're making some big moves, and who knows what other big. I mean, it's what, October now. There's still many more months in the year to go, man. Many things can happen, and they're moving very speedily because they know that they have a short time. You know, the scriptures say that his bounds are appointed, that he cannot pass. So Esau's kingdom always had an expiry date to it. The scriptures say that he was loose for a little season, so his little season is coming to an end, and that's very clear to see. All right, defeat is coming for you, Edomites, man. And truth be told, you already lost, because the Lord already has everything, set in motion, right? So Esau's already lost, and the Israelites already have the victory. We've already inherited the kingdom, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's ours. It is coming, it's sure. We just have to wait for it. But it is ours already, So look forward to that. But we're heading into some very critical times. We're heading into Jacob's trouble, 2nd Esdras 15, 2nd Esdras 16, and we're heading towards that 2nd Esdras chapter 13, man. The return of our Lord Yahushai. So things are gonna start getting very critical very soon. Okay, the Lord ain't playing, man. These are the final warnings going out from Yahweh Shemishai. All right, and the Lord is using his vessels, who are the prophets, to deliver his word. So with that, all praises, glory, and honor. Oh, and remember the judgment for those who take the microchip, man. This is the warning regarding it. Don't take the microchip, because there's a judgment for taking it. And if you're in America, you're going to be destroyed by the thermonuclear fire. America is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear fire, right? And if you're an Israelite and you take the microchip, being in America, you're going to be destroyed. And you don't have no chance for salvation once you take it, man. There's no taking it out or anything like that. You're through. And you know what? There are Israelites who have come out on social media and have shown their microchip, and admit that they're microchip. They're done for already. They don't have no chance for salvation. Those are literally 2/3. It's not like if and maybe. No, that's 2/3 right there, because they done took the microchip already. They don't have no chance for salvation, and they dwelling in America. So with that, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemishai by Shemaka Kodesh. Shalom.